Oh my God, I look so good. Okay. Welcome. This is a new format where I'm just going to talk about things that I want to talk about because I can do whatever I wish. The first thing on the docket today is that you guys are not good people and you need to stop waking me up. Basically, every single dorm that I have lived in at NYU, I have been plagued by people who decide that the best place to congregate is not the lounge, not the laundry room, not their own room, not the lobby, but directly outside of my dorm. It doesn't matter what building I'm in. It has happened to me in every single one. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm at a point now that I'm getting up in age, of course, that like I value my sleep. And so last week, right? And here's the thing, I don't want you to think that I'm being unreasonable when I say this either, because it's like, I understand like sometimes you run into divas in the hallway, like you want a key, you want a da-da-da-da-da, whatever. I'm there, I'm with you. I am not a monster. However, if it's a Wednesday night and it's 2 a.m. and you are keying full volume with 4 other divas in the hallway directly outside of my room, and you wake me up when I have a 10 a.m. in a different borough in the morning, you have lost your marbles. Like, now we've actually lost the plot. And one thing about me is that like I'll give you some time to be quiet. Like, I will give you like a nice 10-minute grace period while I'm seething in bed, and then I will get up and I will actually tell you to shut the I actually went outside, bonnet still on my head, big t-shirt still on my body, and was like, hi, like, we're sleeping. And that was me being nice, because what I actually should have done was like gone into the hallway and screamed, but obviously that would be unreasonable. That would make me unreasonable. I would be in the wrong in that situation, even if that's what my heart tells me to do, right? And then even worse, it's like in here, like this is my side of the room, that's Maya's side of the room, like over there, my roommate. It's like one thing if you wake me up, and then it's like if I look out of the corner of my eye and see that you woke up my sweet angel baby roommate Maya, and I see that you've also woken up her, now it's like I take it upon myself where it's like, okay, like I have to do what I have to do, like to defend our home. Like I literally have to like go outside and like tell you to leave us alone, because what is wrong with you? And actually it happened so much this summer too. I was in a different dorm, but it was like high school kids, so you know, I'm giving them some grace. It's like their one like summer in the city, like, oh my gosh, like this is the best summer ever, like whatever, I understand you. However, it's like some of us have jobs. Like, okay, well, I don't have a job right now, this is kind of like becoming my job, but like, you know, back then I did have a job, a corporate job, like 9 to 5, and you have the nerve to be screaming, not even just screaming, but literally playing kickball in the open area outside of my room at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday night. Like, it's stuff like that like truly gets me, and it raises the question, who raised y'all? Like, I'm not saying that you guys are inherently evil people, but it's like no home training at all. And honestly, I'm starting to think that it's God's punishment to me for choosing to go to a PWI. Like, this is just what I have to deal with. It's like, this is my punishment, and I just have to lay in the bed that I made, you know? Y'all are very weird to Black women. I mean, like, yeah, I know you're probably like, what specifically are you talking about? Because we get to hear for an hour talking about that, which I don't intend to do. But I saw this tweet the other day, and I'm going to insert the tweet right here, that basically was quoting Ayo Edebiri modeling for Loewe. Like she's everything to me. If you've talked to me for like 10 seconds, you know how much I love that lady. I saw her SNL episode and she was phenomenal, but I digress. The tweet reads, I always find myself disappointed in Ayo Edebiri. She could be that Black girl, but instead she's one of those Black girls, like the type of Black girl to give her braids a middle part. Now, let me say this. What's wrong with wearing your braids in a middle part? Like, I'm like, maybe it's because I'm one of like those Black girls, but I'm like, I wear my braids in the middle part. Like, hold on now. But you know what? Here's the thing, is that Ayo Edebiri doesn't have to listen to you jokers. Like, what do you know? What are your qualifications beyond just having a Twitter account and being mean? Like, actually, like Ayo Edebiri has like Emmys. Like, I'm pretty sure she has more than one. At the very least, she definitely has more than one nomination. So it's like, Ayo Edebiri has Emmys. She's writing movies. She's like in TV shows. She's, as you just saw, modeling for Loewe. What does she need from you to be, you know, one of those? And then you started off the tweet with, I always find myself disappointed in Ayo Edebiri. You're not her mom. Who are you? Like, that's insane. And it brings me to my broader point of this thing that you guys do to black women in general. Because my point is about suburban black girls, like as a suburban black girl, but it's true for all black women because it's like, you know, y'all are going to have something to say for any black woman who decides to do something that's against the norm or like stereotypical like black girl activities or has weird interests, or like Io did like improv and stuff and she's from Boston and da 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 and whatever. She doesn't dress how y'all want her to dress. She doesn't have glam like y'all want her to have glam or whatever, even though she's so gorgeous. And it's always a problem, right? But like on the other side, if Io Debris took the time to, for some reason, listen to you and do what you said and do what you want her to do to be one of like, you know, those black girls, or to be like that black girl, you know, then y'all would be the same people on Twitter saying she has no class. She could be so she could be in an echelon with like Zendaya. She could be a true like Hollywood star, but she's da 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 da. She's go. She's da da da. Do you see how it's like you really cannot win? And when it comes to like online discourse, there is actually like no other group of people who is like subjected to this like insanely high set of standards other than black women. And like the way that y'all treat young black female celebrities, it's like actually scary. It's spooky. And I just think that you guys are like very odd. And what's killing me too is that it will be people who are like 45 going on 46 sitting on Twitter burner accounts talking about like the next up and coming like young black female star in Hollywood. It's like, shouldn't you be focused on saving for retirement? Like, don't you have bigger fish to fry than telling Io Debris what she needs to be doing with her millions of dollars? Like, I don't know. Like, just a thought. Moving on. I spent too much time on that. Okay. One of my things about living in New York, because if you haven't noticed, I live in New York. But one of my things about living in New York is that you actually always have to look nice, like no matter what, like if you go outside even for a second, because the way that you will actually be sitting on the train and just like come across a diva who's like on your Pinterest board, or like come across a diva who you follow on Instagram and you're like, I literally just saw your Instagram story. I know what you ate for breakfast. I know your cat's name. I know like your dog's middle name. And here you are in front of my face. It's like, that's one thing, because it's like, wow, this is crazy. Like, I'm in the big city. Yes. But then it's like, don't let you go outside looking any type of raggedy and you need to go run an errand real quick, or you need to go pick something up, and then you just happen, because that will be the time when you are looking your absolute worst, maybe like crust still in your eyes, even needing to go grab something to drink really quick, and you will walk past the most beautiful person you've ever seen who is in all of your outfit inspo like Pinterest boards. It's sickening, and it's not fair. It's literally not fair that I have to be like juxtaposed like crusty to like someone who has never looked bad a single day in their life, like legitimately. And it happens all the time, because basically every single influencer and celebrity that you've ever met lives in New York pretty much. It reminds me of this time that I ran into Joseph Quinn on the street when I was in summer high school here in like 2022. And this was like truly the most like, it actually felt like I was dreaming, because I was really sleepy. I was coming back from seeing Phantom of the Opera on a Monday night. So I get back and it's like Union Square, like 11 o'clock-ish. Literally nobody on the street. I'm on my phone looking at the clips of Joseph Quinn on Jimmy Fallon from earlier that day. And I literally pass him on the street wearing the same outfit with an iced coffee in his hand. And mind you, this was 2022, so this was at like the peak of like his Stranger Things like fame. Like I had just got done watching that season, and then he's right here in front of my face, and that was like the only time I was starstruck, because I truly just was so not prepared. I was like, what are the odds? And before you ask for proof, before you ask if I took a picture, no, I didn't, because like I couldn't get the words out. The way he was so sweet too, and like obviously saw that I was recognizing him, and like if I wanted a picture I probably could have gotten one. It just didn't work out that way. Like I literally was passing him and he was passing me, and we made eye contact, and I was like, oh my god. And then he turned around and he was just like smiling, waving, looking at me like I was about to say something. Of course I didn't say anything, because I was just like, okay, like hey, you know, like embarrassing, literally embarrassing. And I didn't know what to do except like go back to my dorm and be like, I just saw Joseph Quinn outside. And everybody was like, what? Did you get a picture? No. But my point is thank God that I didn't, because I also looked busted. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you never know when opportunity is going to strike. And literally last night, I've learned my lesson, right? Last night I was out on the street and I was taking pictures for Instagram, right? And so on the way to take pictures, Shelby and I were on the train and one of her friends was like, oh my gosh, like there's people from Love Island and Addicted. And I love Love Island, which we'll get to, but I love Love Island. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like who is it? Like I really like love Love Island. Like I want to meet them, whatever. And we ended up having to go like take pictures because we had an event later, whoop de right? Okay. We are literally, this is 45 minutes later. We are sitting there taking pictures on the side of the street. This is like by Margella and like Golf down on like Howard. So it's like Soho, the little like brick streets, right? Okay, we're taking pictures. I look probably the best I've ever looked in my entire life, actually. Thank God, right? And from behind my shoulder, out of pure happenstance, I hear Kayla's voice from behind me. Like, which was crazy hearing her voice outside of the confines of my TV, but I turned around, I hear her voice. And because, I forgot to mention, today is Halloween. So yesterday was Halloween Eve. She is talking to a person dressed as realistic Cat in the Hat. Which, like, are you serious? Like, I legitimately was like, you're kidding. Like, first of all, I was like gagged because I know this is the one time I'm going to actually meet someone and be able to take a picture with them and it not give like crappy meet and greet picture. Like we look like we're besties in the picture. Let me insert the picture. Well, yes. So it's like, okay, like now I've learned my lesson. But no, like you actually like, I wish I had a picture of her talking to this girl dressed as Cat in the Hat because that was actually hilarious and I wanted to bust out laughing, but I didn't. Okay, moving along. We don't have much time left, so I'm trying to speed through. Yeah, not to get political in the chat for a second, but like, maybe, and you know what? Maybe you guys all know something that I don't, right? Maybe you guys know something that I don't, but like, am I supposed to care about illegal immigration? Like, I can't bring myself to care. I don't know. Like maybe it's just because like this seems sort of like made up, like the whole like crisis, you know, and it also like the loudest ones about illegal immigration live like the furthest from the border. Like everybody's so worried about the southern border and it's like you live in Minnesota. Like you live in Minnesota. Like why do you care? And then on top of that, people be like, immigrants are like so scary and stuff. And then it's like, A, I don't think you're a good person. But B, it's like, being in New York where literally like there's millions of people here and like most people who like you come into every day are like not from here. They're immigrants of some kind. It's like, no, these are actually just like regular people. And I think that you guys are all just like really, really bad people, like on the low. Like on the low, you guys are like not good people, which I've said so many times in this episode. So that tells you where my mind is at, is that y'all are not good people. Not you specifically, viewer, but you know what I mean, right? Okay, moving on. Okay, the last thing I have to discuss for today is that I feel like Halloween and the last week of the election that we're currently in, I feel like we have been doing this for 15 years. For some reason, this thing happens in New York where holidays decide to last an eternity, and I feel like it has been Halloween for the past 60 days. I don't know if that's because of the way people decorate things. I don't know if that's because of the way people talk about like their costumes or something or whatever, but like I feel like I'm stuck like in the Twilight Zone where it's just always going to be Halloween and it's always going to be the election forever. And like, don't let me talk about Christmas because Christmas is like the worst offender in New York. Like if you do not like Christmas, like do not even think about coming. I wouldn't even say the tri-state area is safe until maybe like February, because as soon as November 1st strikes, when the clock strikes midnight tonight, when the clock literally like Cinderella, you are going to see Christmas lights go up on every single building. They're already building the Winter Village in Bryant Park, and you know the jack-o'-lanterns haven't even rotted yet. It's like, what are we doing, you know? But I'm not complaining because I literally love Christmas. I'll listen to Christmas music year round. Like in July and June, I actually couldn't care less. Speaking of Christmas music, Ariana Grande's Christmas EP, Christmas and Chill, great EP. That was not connected to any of the thoughts I was trying to say, but I just had that on my chest. It was weighing on my heart. I had to let you know in case you don't know that you should go listen to it. But anyways, yeah, it's like you will actually see like Christmas everywhere. for what feels like 10 years. And then what's even worse is that you're like miserably cold. So like once Christmas is actually over and we're well into the new year, it's actually still Christmas in New York, except now it's also like below freezing, and you are even more miserable than you were like in December, which is just like, I would complain about that, but I'm just like so festive that I kind of don't care. Guys, that was so efficient. I did wonderful on time. I hit every single thing I wanted to hit, and I kind of think that I didn't take as long as I thought. So, yay me. Thanks for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, follow me everywhere at Morgan Doesn't Care. My Venmo and Cash App are also Morgan Doesn't Care if you want to send me money. I would love that. Thanks. And if you're watching this on TikTok, you can follow me. If there's any more things you want to hear me talk about, DM me or comment it, even better. Send this video to a friend if you want to support this. And yeah, that's it. Happy Halloween.